right. As we're gearing up for the holidays, welcome to a brand new episode of Brunch Talk brought to you by the Dateable Podcast. It's the holidays. It's about love. It's about finding your partner. And now this is why we're doing this show, because we want to answer your burning dating questions to set you up for success.
And it's about potato luckies as we go into Hanukkah season.
Yeah.
That is what it's really about.
Yeah, tell us more.
I feel like potato luckies are basically the same as hash browns. You know, I feel like potato luckies should just be a staple at every brunch, even outside of Hanukkah time. They're so good.
Is
potato
that just
pancakes.
a thing around Hanukkah?
Yeah, it's for Hanukkah. It's like what you eat on Hanukkah.
What happens if you eat it outside of Hanukkah?
I mean, you can. No one's going to, come and get you. Like the Hanukkah patrol, the Maccabee crew. Is it going to come and be like, nope, you can only eat that on Hanukkah. I do eat, a lot of restaurants serve potato pancakes all year round. And there's actually German restaurants, which is the opposite. But German restaurants also serve potato pancakes. They just don't call them potato luckies. So you can have them all year round, but they're extra special for Hanukkah.
Do you make them from scratch?
You know, I did last year with my partner made them. We did a Hanukkah party at the house in San Francisco, and we did make them from scratch, but my family growing up never did because they're kind of hard.
And your partner is he Jewish?
No.
Oh, okay. That's
just
so funny.
Followed a recipe.
The non-Jew.
He's a really good cook, though. He's a really good cook. He's like,
nice.
He would never buy them out of a package or get them somewhere. He's like, we're doing it. If we're doing it, we're doing it right.
And doing it from scratch. Wow. It's a good partner to have. No wonder you two prefer to stay in for brunch.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's better food.
No need to go out.
Better food. What question are we? We're doing a question. We're doing a question for Brunch Talk.
We've been getting a lot lately coming in, so thank you all that have sent them. And we will be picking up Brunch Talk again during the next season, so we'll have a little bit of a hiatus, but feel free to get the questions in. We're going to be consolidating them all and ready to kick them off again in February. So, yeah.
I'm sure come the new year, we'll just have a shit ton of these questions.
Yeah, we will.
Yep. Things will surface. Trust you, me.
As they do.
What is surfacing today? The question is, and this is very much related to dating apps, online dating, when you get into the texting black hole, just like messaging back and forth. The question is, how do you exit a conversation gracefully?
Okay. And then our listener that wrote in, if we go back and forth a couple times and I'm the only one asking questions, I just delete them. And maybe that's the right approach, but I always feel bad ghosting, even at this preliminary stage. I have also tried saying something like, it doesn't seem like we're connecting. I wish you the best. And that feels better on my side, but sometimes the other person gets mad. Maybe I need to ask better questions. So could that be it? Any other advice?
Well, I have a question for the person who asked the question. And the question is, what's your purpose? What's your goal in these text messages, in the texting? I think maybe if the goal is to get off the messages, it's good to put that up front. Say, I want to get to know you over text, but at some point, I really would like to take this offline if things seem right. The problem is just people don't have a purpose when they're messaging. That's why it just goes back and forth. It gets into this black hole and you can't come out of it. And then you feel bad if you're trying to get out of it. First of all, don't feel bad, but then let's figure out what the purpose of text messaging is and then state that up front.
I love that. I feel like if any conversation on dating apps goes on longer for, I don't want to say 24 hours, even that's pushing it. I feel like it's like an hour max, even less. I like to move it along to text and then move it along to video or phone or real life. Because when it stays in the dating app limbo for more than 24 hours, we'll say that to be conservative, but I really think that's even pushing it. people lose interest. They forget. Even if you're asking questions, they're maybe on to someone else that things have been moving along more. And, some of it's going to come down to what is it that you're asking. When you're getting peppered with questions too on dating apps, sometimes I'm like, oh my God, like I don't want to answer
Oh
all
my
this to this
gosh.
stranger that isn't indicating that they want to meet up with me. What would be better is ask them a couple of the main questions just so it doesn't feel like you're just asking anyone and everyone out. We talked to, this will stay with me for the rest of time. We talked with Meredith Davis a long time ago, who was the
Mm.
director of community at The League, which is a dating app that is still around. And she was talking about how do you get like 3 pieces of info in those early stage that aren't on the profile. So you build that rapport and then you move it along. People
Mm-hmm.
don't want a pen pal. They don't want someone to, I don't know. I think when someone just asks you a ton of questions, my reaction would be like, does this person ever want to move it offline or to any other form of media?
Yeah. The problem is people treat texting in a dating app like they would treat texting in general. So
Yes.
they
Yes.
think you're kind of at their disposal. Like, oh, I can text this person whenever I want. They're going to respond back. I kind of liked, I forget which episode we talked about this, but what if you set 2 days a week just for dating apps? And then you
Yeah.
tell the people you're messaging, I'm only on this app Tuesdays and Wednesdays. So whatever you want to talk about, you got 2 days to talk about it. Time box that shit so that they know they can't just keep lingering and asking questions that go nowhere. That way there is a purpose to the conversation and there's a deadline to the conversation.
Or better yet, get it off immediately. Like if you're
Mm,
not comfortable giving someone your real number, get Google Voice. There's
yeah.
many ways that you can go about this, but I agree with you that people view texting on a dating app the same as texting, but you don't know how often is this person checking their dating
Mm.
apps. You don't know how buried your conversation has been now that there's a bunch of other ones. I really believe in moving it along or even the perception of moving it along. If you're not ready to go on a date right away, that's fine. Like, do the different steps. But when you're just talking endlessly for a week, let's say you're just in the dating app talking back and forth questions, no one is hinting to it moving anywhere else compared to if you did the back and forth, brief banter on the dating app, said something like, I used to always just say, like, I feel like this dating app makes it hard. I used to always say, my app keeps crashing, or it's hard for me to
Yeah.
text on this
Yes.
app. Would you be down to exchange phone numbers, or would you be down to text? And we're super excited to do that. So move it to text message. If you want to text for a few days, then propose the phone or video call. It could be that same week, but it could feel like all these steps are happening versus
Yes.
just something flat and static.
Yes. Progress. Keep on trucking along and make that progress. And it's the content of what you're texting to. I would love
Yes.
for you all to scroll through your messages and just look at the bullshit you are all messaging about.
How are your
And
day? How's your day?
yeah,
Oh my
how are
God,
you
that.
feeling? Da, 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 da. Tell me more about the third photo. Da, da, da. And, sorry, because I used to do that too. I'm only making fun of myself too. But the best conversations I've ever had on dating apps was when I was trying to trap Julie's ghoster using a fake profile. So it wasn't even my photos. It was not me. And I was just, because I had already trapped him, I was like, well, since I'm on here, might as well see what else is out there. I had no
Oh my
expectations. I wasn't
God,
trying to get
yes.
people to like me back. And I had some of the best conversations because I just didn't give a shit. I was like matching with my friends on the app. They didn't know it was me, which is probably they could probably sue me if they really wanted to. But I would match with them, and I'd be like, okay, you seem like a fun person, except you can't take photos because all your photos are crooked. I didn't care, and they're like, tell me more, Then we get in these arguments, but they're fun and because I just didn't care.
Yes.
I wasn't trying to get them to like me back, and so sometimes it's like stop with the cookie cutter messaging and just get the
Yes.
information you want. Move things along and be you.
So we've heard in our Facebook group, people love the beta that Bumble's been running,
Uh,
banter.
mm-hmm.
Love it, right? And it's banter. That's exactly what it is. I could not agree. I think that maybe we are in the common minority here. Or let me say that again. I think we are in the minority here that whenever someone says that I open with something about their profile pic, it kind of makes me cringe a little. If you're like,
Mm-hmm.
tell me about that third photo, what you were just saying. I would almost rather someone be funny or, something that feels like teasing. Okay, so what I did for my partner, I was the one that initiated convo,
Uh-huh.
and he had a photo of him and three girls. They were friends, and they all had emojis on their head, like covering them because he was a big person with privacy and he didn't want their faces on the internet.
Yeah.
And my opening line to him was like, "Oh, your friends are really happy to be around you," because he had like the big smile emojis. Something that
Yeah.
was like it was commenting on the photo, but it wasn't like, "Oh, where did you take that photo?" Like it just feels so contrived when you do it that way. It doesn't feel like a conversation you'd have in the real world. People are always saying that apps feel so forced. It's not the apps that are forced, it's the convos we're having that are forced.
Yes. Yes. I think it's unfortunate that we need a prompt like banter for us to actually banter when that's our natural way of
Exactly.
communication is banter. I think it's sad that robots now have to guide us through human connection, but fine. Whatever can help us is the way to do it. The messaging is so important in the initial stages because you want it to feel personal. You don't want it to
Mm-hmm.
feel like an interview or uh, like a robot or a bot wrote it, right? Because you can copy and paste and all of that to everyone. But what is it that can make this feel like a personal experience? I remember there was one time I was messaging back and forth with this guy, and he had a lot of photos with him and his dog. And I asked him, "Oh, what are you up to tonight?" And he said, "I have a really hot date I want to see." And I knew right away. I was like, he's gonna he's gonna send a photo of him and his dog." So then I actually beat him to it, and I was like, "I have a hot day too," and sent a photo of me and my dog. And that I felt like
Yeah,
we
that's
really brought it.
banter.
Yeah, it was personalized because now I'm like, I think he's a dog person, so I think this is where it's going. So yeah, every moment is your chance to say, how do I personalize this experience for this person I'm talking to?
Bumble used to have these opening lines that were
Yeah,
canned, and I
yeah.
used to send them, never got a reply
No.
on like 90% of them because
Wait, you said used to? They don't have it anymore?
I used to. I don't know if they still have them. I'm not on Bumble, so I don't
No,
know.
I mean, yeah, Bumble used to have
Yeah,
them,
I
but
don't
we
know
don't
if
know if
they.
they're still
Sorry,
around. Okay.
I stand corrected. I'm not sure. We'll have to do some research if they still exist, but I'm not sure if I would recommend them because they feel so forced and
Yeah.
they feel so generic. And I bet people could feel that they were generic even if they didn't
Yes.
know. So 100%, I think this I don't give a fuck attitude. I'm just gonna talk to people like I would if I were in a group shooting the shit. That is by far the best approach. So I do want to get into what do you do when you're giving it your all, you're
Mm.
actually, having a conversation going and this person just isn't a match. So yeah, sometimes just not going to be a fit.
Yep.
And maybe they're asking really boring questions or it just petered out completely and you want to get rid of them from your queue. What do you do then?
I liked what this person wrote. I don't really see a fit. It was really nice chatting with you.
Yeah.
And I'm going to close out this chat. I think that's totally fine. I much rather get that as a message than suddenly see someone unmatched me and didn't tell me they were going to.
Yeah. I mean, I think it's kind of like ghosting. The rule of thumb we've given before, if two people both have checked out of this conversation and it's
Yeah.
been days and weeks and months since you two have talked, I think you can unmatch. No one's looking for you.
No one's. Yeah.
If someone is actively reaching out, yeah, close the loop with the message you sent. That there's nothing wrong with that. Or, it could even be just that you realized that this isn't the right fit. I mean, that's basically what this person is saying.
Mm-hmm.
There's so many things you can say. I think this is like a little bad, but I used to do this all the time. We actually got this advice from a past guest, Madison Perry, from a long,
Mm.
long time ago, that he would say that an ex came back or something
Yes.
happened because if you say it's not a fit, someone can fight you. And I've had that happen where I've said I don't think it's a fit and they list off all the ways it's a fit. So I would actually just say that like I started dating someone else or I reconvened with an ex and or I realized I'm not in the place to date. Something that's a little bit of a white lie. I understand saying that is saying to do a white lie, so you could decide how you feel about it. But personally, it was an easier exit, especially if you thought someone was kind of challenge you on it.
Mm. Could be as simple as I'm finding a stronger connection with someone else.
Yeah.
Right? They can't fight you on that. They can't be like, who? Show me.
Yeah. True. Basically, whatever you can do that makes it that it's not going to be a continued conversation and it could just let someone know. I like you seem like a really great person. Best of luck out there. Like something that boosts them up too.
Yeah. Are you when you are doing online dating, are you like an inbox zero kind of person?
Oh, no. I'm not an inbox zero type of person in any parts of my life. I let it
Yeah.
linger. It didn't bother me, but I know some people, it really irks them. So I get it. If you are an inbox zero and you just want everyone clear it out, no big deal. Personally, for me, it didn't matter. So if someone did resurface, I could then assess if it was worth talking to them. It wasn't necessarily something that was occupying my brain space, though.
Mm. Yeah,
Were you?
no, I just had a graveyard of all these dead messages. But I wonder if I could have had more clarity if I had cleaned out my inbox. But sometimes I get nostalgic and I would read through the messages for funsies. Is that weird?
There was one person before I met my partner. We had talked, just kind of died out. There was no real
Hmm.
reason. And I was looking through my queue and I'm like, whatever happened with this person? And I just reached out again. We ended up going on a date. Granted, it didn't work
Mm.
out, but we still ended up going out from it. So the timing, for whatever reason, just didn't match up the first time, but it did the second. So yeah, I think we often take all this stuff so personally, but we really have no idea where people are in their lives. If a conversation dies out, it may have zero to do with you. Maybe you're asking all the right questions, having all the right conversation. It's just that they're not focused on dating right now, or maybe they're dating someone else. It's so hard to know.
Maybe they're a fake profile trying to catch their friend's ghoster.
You never know. Exactly.
Maybe they're a fraud.
Name you a shoe.
Maybe me. That's okay. But that's all right. Then you just brush it off. You just go on with your day. The lesson learned here is we can all get better with online dating messaging so that we can drive the conversation forward, see progress,
Mm-hmm.
and keep the conversations that have some substance to them and close the loop when you are not
Yeah.
interested. If we just follow those basic guidelines, we can get more clarity in our messaging and hopefully get a better understanding of who we want to move off the
Yeah.
apps.
I think we've heard this before in the sounding board and some other groups that people don't want to offend anyone by
Mm,
closing the loop and they don't want to hurt them. You're on a dating app. Most people
yeah.
are not that attached to you at this point. They probably just appreciate some closure over feeling like, I don't know. I feel like there's like a momentary sting maybe, but after that, it's not, if you've never even met the person in real life, you're probably not that attached to this conversation.
Yeah. There's really nothing wrong with just saying, not feeling it,
Yeah.
but it's
No one's
okay.
going to be that upset.
No, no. Yeah.
They'll
So
get over
good.
it in a day max, so it's okay. You know, that's the nature of dating apps. We can't forget that we need
No.
like okay, yes, dating apps, there's so many things that are wonderful about them, but there is a lot that is inherently flawed, which is why getting off them ASAP is so important so you don't get buried. And then getting quote unquote rejected on apps, like it's not even real. What do you think about it?
Right. Yeah. Right. We're using them. Yeah. We don't need to put so much thought into them at all. It's just there to connect us, and we
Yeah.
just feel grateful that we have these tools. But at the same time, it's like it's not everything.
No, let's talk like humans, not robots. I think that's another
Yeah.
big takeaway of, yeah,
Yeah.
you're right. Why does banter have to come into, like, it's funny that we had one of our Facebook members post something saying, revolutionary idea. People like banter on date,
I
like on conversations. And it's funny and it's true. He wasn't wrong. But the fact that that is a revolutionary idea that people reacted to is actually kind of funny when you think about it.
I know. I know. What's going to be next? AI takes over and it banters for you.
We've just gotten so robotic in what we ask on pre-dates and dates and all of it. Let's just be humans.
I know. And talk to other humans like humans. I think we just forgot how to treat each other like humans. And now it's like we're so dependent on computers
Mm-hmm.
that we are legit depending on computers to guide us through love. Oh, hell no. Don't let this happen, everyone.
Yes. It should be a tool, not
Yeah.
anything more than that.
Yeah. My gosh.
Okay.
It's
Well, I think
crazy.
we covered this topic pretty well. Hopefully this helps you out. Do that audit of your last conversations and
Mm.
think, would I want to talk to me?
Yeah. Would I want to keep progressing with this conversation? Right. Well, thank you for that question. It's the holidays. We know you're going to have more time on your hands. It's a great time to send in your questions. I'm sure you have so many. You can email us hello@dateablepodcast.com, or you can tag us or DM us on Instagram at Dateable Podcast. We will read through those questions. And while we take a break in January, we will be back in February with a bang to answer all of your questions.
Yes, and we will have bonus episodes, just not brunch talk in this hiatus, but we will be back. The gift that keeps giving is brunch talk.